Gymnasium. Good evening, high school basketball fans, and welcome to the 1994 Cardinal Holiday Classic. I'm Dave Preston, along with Mike Piper, to bring you all the play-by-play action here this evening as the Fond du Lac Cardinals take on the Cardinals of Chippewa Falls. And Mike, the Cards in a holiday breather here, get away from the conference schedule, and yes, they could probably use it. They have really had some tough battles in the Fox Valley Association the last couple of times out, and especially the last time out against the Oshkosh West Indians, as near as they have come to being defeated in a conference game in some 32 starts, as a matter of fact, right down to the wire before Joe Harmson tips in a missed shot and then goes down to the other end and blocks a 10-footer by Flanagan, I believe it was, literally to win that basketball game.
Well, the Cardinals have sure been in some nail-biters this year as opposed to those past season. I think, number one, it shows again a lot about the parity of this conference. No matter where you go right now, you really don't have an easy game. And I think not only the Fond du Lac Cardinals, but I think all the teams in the Fox Valley Association Conference have found that out. Talking to Coach Diener prior to the game, we kind of joshed him a little bit about the tight games he's had. And, he says that great to win, but he says those type of games are going to catch up on you sooner or later.
Well, there's one thing about it. Certainly his hair can't go any grayer.
No, I tell you, speaking of gray hair, his younger brother coaching the first game tonight, he's trying to catch up to Dick.
He certainly is, isn't he? Yeah,
Tommy,
I saw Dick there. But, and Mike, the odd thing is that we used to kind of chide Dick last year because there weren't any close ball games.
Right.
And we wondered all season long how the team would react in a close basketball game. Now this year they've had nothing but close ball games. Tonight, however, quite possibly this ball game could be a totally different story. This could very well be a game that the Cardinals could walk away with quite handily. A team that is only 1-4 coming into this ball game. However, Chippewa Falls does play in a very strong conference, and not knowing who they have faced in that conference up to this point, to dole out those losses, you take a look at Kaukauna in the Fox Valley Association, or better yet, take a look at Oshkosh West, who darn near knocked off the Fond du Lac Cardinals and has really a similar record to the Chippewa Falls Cardinals. That is a pretty strong conference up there with the Eau Claires and whatnot.
Well, Chippewa Falls comes into this game with a pretty poor record, but based on last year's success, they were 13-7 last year in conference. However, they lost an awful lot off of that team, but their JV team was 16-13, so you'd think there was some talent there. However, they are returning but one starter, and that being Corey O'Connell. He scored only an average of 4 points a game last year, and only one other Letterman return. That was Lou Megnos, who will start at center. He only scored 2 points a game last year, so just not an awful lot returning from last year's team.
All righty, we're going to be right back here. What did I do there? Is there anything there? Or did I put the wrong side in? At any rate, we'll be right back here at the Goodrich High Gymnasium right after this on your Fond du Lac Cardinal Basketball Report.
Since 1933, Spees Painting and Decorating has been providing quality painting services for all your industrial, commercial, and residential needs. If your job is big or small, get it done efficiently and get it done right the first time. Spees Painting and Decorating, equipped to do the job efficiently.
At Len's Sales and Service, not only do we sell quality cars, trucks, and vans, but we also provide complete auto services. From cleaning to detailing, our body shop can handle all your needs, big or small. Len's Sales, Service, and Leasing, where nice cars, trucks, and vans are sold and serviced.
You depend on Silica. You can brighten up your kitchen for the holidays at Silica Appliance and TV during our store-wide sell-a-thon. Store-wide savings on appliances, TVs, VCRs, stereo, and power equipment. Save on KitchenAid's full line of appliances. KitchenAid dishwashers with Sure Scrub multi-level wash to get your dishes cleaner than ever. So brighten up your kitchen for the holidays during the store-wide sell-a-thon at Silica Appliance and TV. You depend on Silica.
Not all law firms or lawyers are the same. If you've been injured, you want a lawyer with experience. Donahue, Sharp, and Casper has handled difficult cases throughout the state and argued successfully before state courts at all levels, including the Wisconsin Supreme Court. They've won significant recoveries for their clients, and they've done it from Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. You don't have to go to Milwaukee or up the valley to find experienced, accomplished personal injury attorneys.
Welcome back once again to the Goodrich High Gymnasium. The first game here this evening won by Milwaukee Vincent over the Sheboygan South Redmond, 55-45, the final in that ball game, and sets up a potential matchup for Dick Diener and crew tomorrow night against a ranked basketball team, being the Milwaukee Vincent Vikings, who are coached by Dick's brother, Tom. I guess one of the things you have to guard against here tonight is that you're not looking ahead, Mike, because really the first opportunity of the season for the Cardinals to go head-to-head with a ball club that is ranked.
Well, Dave, it's obviously a concern I have to think right at this point for Coach Diener. Also talking to him prior to the game, we talked about the lack of success thus far for the Chippewa Falls Cardinals, and you know, I made a comment to him that on paper this is a game that we should be able to control for a change, and he says, that's right, but Mike, you know that you don't play basketball on paper, and that's just the fact of the matter. You have to go out and execute. You have to play both ends of the court. This should be a tune-up for what would be a very interesting and a great matchup with a pair of coaches being brothers.
Well, again, I will remind the fans out there, Mike, that in ball games within the Fox Valley Association this year, that some of those lower teams, Kaukauna, so to speak, lower teams, Kaukauna and Oshkosh West, have given the Fond du Lac Cardinals literally fits thus far here this year. So let's take it down. I believe we've got
Dale.
Is that Dale? Okay.
Dale Friendly.
Dale Friendly is our public address announcer with the introduction of the starting lineups here tonight.
Number 20, Eric Lindahl, senior. Number 34, senior John Sonnenbeck. Number 40, sophomore Nick Holly. Number 42, junior Matt Simonson. And number 50, senior Mike Kellison. For our Cardinals, number 4, Mike Zimmerman. Number 5, Chip Gildenbach. Number 10, Andy Johnson. Number 13, Drew Diener. Number 20, Eric Diener. Number 21, Greg Spivey. Number 24, Scott Vandenberg. Number 32, Aaron Chen. Number 34, Eric Weissman. And number 44, Kyle Lake. The starters for game 2 tonight, from Chippewa Falls, number 12, sophomore Tim Rose. For the Cardinals, senior number 3, Jeff Simon. For Chippewa Falls, senior number 30, Ryan Fakenbach. For the Cardinals, senior number 12, Brad Bester. For Chippewa Falls, senior number 44, Corey O'Connell. For the Cardinals, senior number 25, Travis Hurts. For Chippewa Falls, number 52, sophomore Mike Thompson. For the Cardinals, senior number 33, Matt Rupert. And for Chippewa Falls, senior number 54, Lou Manuels. And for the Cardinals, number 00, senior Joe Hermanson.
There you have the starting lineups for this evening's game. And Mike, another real good crowd on hand for a ball club here that you probably would think would not draw that much, but the Cardinal fans have turned up in earnest here once again over the holiday break. Of course, it is a nice chance for some people who are away at school and what have you to be able to get home here during the holidays and see a good basketball game.
Definitely, I'm real happy with the turnout here tonight. I thought maybe tonight's crowd might be down a little bit, but I fully expect a big packed house for tomorrow night's game now, assuming the Cardinals are going to win this.
Yeah. Would assume that as well. So high Slamma-Jamma Harmson will go in on the center jump with Corey O'Connell, a 6'2 senior for the Chip Falls Cardinals. Second year in this tournament for Chip Falls. I got to take that back. Were they here last year, or was that 2 years ago, Mike? I know Chippewa Falls has been in it, however, before. And here's Travis Stearns out of it with the tap. Brings the basketball up court. Give it to Bester. Post up high here now is Matt Rupert. Split it off to Bester. Flash Harmson through. Low post. Can't get him the ball.
Harmson's got a mismatch if we get him the ball down low right
Boy,
now.
does he. He's got O'Connell, but O'Connell can get off of the ground. So Joe's going to have to be wary of that. Ernst back out between the two rings. Around the left side, here's Brad Bester with the basketball. Posted up high now to Harmson. Going to pull up with a 10-footer. It's good. Hi Harmson with his first bucket of the game. The Cardinals get out to a 2-0 lead. On the right side is Pagenkov. Pagenkov comes for O'Connell. He is played off the switch now by Bester. Bester quickly back over to pick up his own man once again. And Thompson takes the basketball. Now coming down into the lane. There's a running one-hander by Pagenkov. Would not go down. And High Slamajama up with the rebound. Had it slapped away. Has to go back and save it from going OB. And back up court now come the Cardinals. Ernst on the near side. Here is Bester. Give it to Ernst. Got it down low. Here to Harmson comes the wall. He lost the handle on where he was there, didn't he?
Well, he lost the handle as he's trying to go up on it, Dave. He wanted to leave it from the near side, take it in, but on his way up, the ball went out of his hands, but he was able to follow it right across the basket and come back with a rebound shot.
4-0 on a pair of buckets here by High Harmson. And they're coming around to pick out High. Here's Thompson out hole high. Is played by Jeff Simon. Swing it down left side sidewalk to Manglos. To Pagenkov. Circle high to the left. Here's O'Connell. Takes the baseline. Gets around Rupert. Rupert forced him down low. Takes the shot anyway. Now jackknife jumper by Pagenkov with the tray. No. Got his own rebound as it bounds out high. Cards in their usual man-to-man defense. Pagenkov. Here's Manglos, circle high right side, comes for O'Connell. He is played by Matt Rupert. Now coming around the pick is Thompson. He's going to take the 17-footer and he hit it.
Well, we gave him 3 opportunities and a pair of offensive rebounds. That doesn't happen too often against the Cardinals of Fond du Lac.
However, the Cardinals, good job actually defensively, Mike, forcing the shot actually outside on a man-to-man defense. Not too bad.
1-3-1 zone being applied right now, and again, we said early in the season we expected the Cardinals of Fond du Lac to see a lot of zone this year.
Posted up, here's Rupert, now tries to shovel it down low to High Harmson, ball slammed free, has to go out of the corner to pick it up, got it down into Rupert, bingo foul!
Nice pass across the top from Ernst.
Matt Rupert will get the bucket. And he will go to the line to try to complete a 3-point play. So Roop can't knock it down, however. Well, it's a 6-2 basketball game. By the way, that was the first personal foul on Tim Rhodes and the first team. And the ball is slapped free down on the baseline out of bounds, but we'll go back here to Chip Falls. Well, all kinds of bad news out of Green Bay, huh? Wow. Isn't that something?
Well, things got to get better. They can still win that football game as long as they believe they can win it.
Well, I believe they can beat Detroit.
Yeah.
But I wanted to, after what San Francisco pulled there last Monday night, I wanted to stuff it right back in their face, you know?
Well, I think San Francisco should have just saved the airfare rather than flying up there and forfeit
That was
the game.
ridiculous. Yeah, they might as well have. You know, it's a 16-game season. I think the contract reads that you're supposed to show up for all 16 games. That's about all they did. The ball tapped free here out of bounds. We'll go back to Chippewa Falls once again. And I'll take that back. Touched last by one of the Cardinals of Chip Falls, and Fond du Lac will get it back. Little token pressure now applied in the backcourt. And up court will come Travis Ernst. We'll get back to that San Francisco-Minnesota fiasco. That was ridiculous. Took the entire defense out for the last 5 minutes of the basketball, or the football game, where they still had a chance to win.
4 starters, they never even suited up, and 3 more they had out before the quarter was over.
Yeah. Here's Ernst, left side sidewalk, get it down to Harmson. Well, that wasn't, what really upset me was when the starting defense was completely out of the ball game with 5 minutes to go. And a chance to win it. Here's Ernst coming down the lane, running one hand. And the foul will be charged to Lou Manglos. I don't know why you put your football team in a position to come back and tie or maybe even win the game with a 2-point conversion, of course, and then take the defense off of the field. Ernst missing the first.
Don't know what the answer is, but it seems to me there's something that's got to be done for the integrity of the game. You know, for the Packers, they had a playoff berth anyway.
Harmson with the rebound comes back with a running skyhook, and he put it in.
The Packers had a playoff berth, but if I was a team looking from the outside and needed a Minnesota loss, I would be quite upset.
Well, we did need a Minnesota loss.
Well, at least we're still in.
And rejected here by Harmson. Saved, no, by Travis Stern.
Boy, Joe getting high in the air for that block. Greg Fyvie up off the pines early for the Cards here.
As is Derek Diener.
For Rupert and Simon.
And also Drew Diener into the ball game. So also going out was Travis Ernst. Round to the right side with the basketball. Here's O'Connell. Ball bang free, but comes back in the hands of Tim Rose. Back to O'Connell once again. O'Connell brings the ball back up between the two rings. Obviously the real athlete, probably the go-to guy on this basketball team, I would guess, is Corey O'Connell. Ball slapped free, and Greg Fyvie, I thought maybe he might have slapped that one off of O'Connell and out of bounds, but they'll say no.
O'Connell, Dave, the only returning starter off last year's team. As a junior, however, averaged only 4 points a game for the Cardinals.
So Chip Falls to inbound. They were, what were they on the regular season last year? You said, you told me before, 13-9?
13-7.
13-7, okay. And another rejection here by High Slamajema.
Harmson with his third block here early in the first quarter.
Left side, here's Greg Fyvie. Fake left, come back right. Nice move, but they'll call him for the travel.
First turnover of the game for either of the Cardinals.
And up off of the pines is Eric Lindahl to come in for Chip Falls. And also into the basketball game is Matt Simonson. So the Chip Falls Cardinals inbound in their own backcourt. Left side, got it to Rose. Blocked by Bester and out of bounds. Boy, fourth or fifth block of the basketball game.
Defensively, the Cardinals very aggressive, challenging anything inside.
And good pressure defense applied here on the inbounds feed. Chip Falls just barely, and the ball banked free. Saved from going OB by Bester. Off into the hands of Derek Diener. Here he comes down on the run, giving it to Drew off the baseline. 10 first guy. That was nice job there. That was kind of a look what I found here, actually, by Derek Diener.
Well,
but what hustle by Brad Bester to save that from going OB.
Give him the 2 points, actually. He's the guy who saved the ball from going out of bounds.
Ran away here by Rose, will not go down. Ball slapped back out, picked up by Lindahl. Cardinals here, Fond du Lac with a 10-2 lead in the basketball game. And O'Connell comes back out between the two rings, and Fyvie slapped it away. Ball loose on the court, and Ray trade by Mike Thompson. Round to the right side, and got it here to Lindahl. Trey on the way there, would not go down. Fyvie missed the rebound. Slapped around, picked up by Brad Bester. Here comes Bradley on the run. Gives it a look to the inside, running one-hander, no, and a foul is going to be charged to Eric Lindahl. Lindahl with his first personal, third team. And Bester trying to come out and turn on the afterburners. Y'all done with your diet now, or?
Oh, never done.
Huh?
No.
I thought maybe you were, because it looked like Christmas was pretty good to you. The mom with Christmas dinner anyway.
Well, that's always good.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, but you didn't have to stay for 4 or 5 days, too.
Tried real hard.
Brad Bester missed the first. Something in the water on this end of town tonight. The Cardinals are 0-for-4 from the free throw line.
2:05 to go here in the first quarter. Cardinals lead it at 10 and 11 to 3 over Chip Falls.
I must confess, that's about all we did while we were up by my parents up north. There wasn't any snow. You couldn't do any snowmobiling or anything like that. Couldn't even get out on the flambeau flowage. It was for fishing, ice fishing or anything. And here's a jackknife jumper by Mike Thompson is good. It's the Cardinals of Fond du Lac 11 and Mike Thompson 4.
Only 2 field goals for Chip Falls and some 12 attempts.
And here's Derek Diener out of the coffin corner. That tray will not go down. That was Drew. My mistake. Up court, here's Lindahl. 1:30 remaining here. First quarter of action. Swinging around left side sidewalk. Tim Rose backing down on Derek Diener. Now comes off to O'Connell, and he troubled the ball.
Second turnover of the game for Chip Falls. You see the score, 11-4 in favor of Fond du Lac.
And across the timeline, they come here for Greg Fyvie. First really extended action that Fyvie's seen in some time. Looked like they're looking for one, trying to spread the floor here. Fyvie had the ball stripped free by Tim Rhodes as he was trying to take it to the hole. Give it off to Mike Thompson, off on a baseline, 10-footer no. Fyvie goes up to get it. Leave it in the backcourt for Derek Diener, and here he comes back up court. Derek on the left side sidewalk. Herky jerk move coming in the lane, up at the high post. Now needs some help. Comes for Drew Diener to the near side. Looping feed down low for Joe Harmson, knocked away and out of bounds.
45 seconds to go here in the first quarter of action.
So Jeff Simon will do the honors on the inbounds feed, and some substitutions, and Joe Harmson goes out. Brad Bester takes a break as Matt Rupert and Simon are back in. Looping feed comes out. Here's Greg Fyvie to the left side sidewalk. Comes back for Jeff Simon. Turned down the tray. Now posts up to Rupert. Splits it off. Simon turned down the tray out of the coffin corner here once again. On the jackknife J is Drew Diener, and it's good. His second bucket of the game. The first tray of the ball game by either team, and it's 14-11. Left side sidewalk. Pagankoff comes back outside by Nick Hulley, and Hulley hits the tray.
Cardinals got to push it up here down to 8 seconds in the quarter. Going to get the last look at things.
Simon tried to push it into the forecourt. It was knocked. It was not knocked away and out of bounds. So with 5 seconds remaining, the Chip Falls Cardinals could close to within 4 if they can pop up a 3. There was a travel, got away with it. Outside jackknife jumper by Lindahl, though, and that'll be the end of the first quarter of action. And our score after 1 quarter of play is the Fond du Lac Cardinals 14 and Chippewa Falls 7. Back after this on your Fond du Lac Cardinal Basketball Report.
The Sports Spine and Work Center of St. Agnes Hospital. About the only thing we can't fix is a bruised ego.
Mine! Mine! Mine!
The Sports Spine and Work Center of St. Agnes Hospital.
Yours!
About the only thing we can't fix is a bruised ego.
I love watching TV. My whole family does. The problem is there's 4 of us and only 1 TV. So anyway, last week we all wanted to watch TV all at the same time. It was my mom and my dad and my sister and me facing off. 1 TV, 1 remote, and 1 chance. I made my move and bang! I switched on USA. And you know what? Everyone was happy.
USA, the remote stops here.
Fond du Lac red hot in the first quarter of action, shooting 6 for 8 for 75% from the field, including 1 for 2 from three-point range. The Chippewa Falls Cardinals 3 for 15 for only 20%. They were 1 for 5 long range. Cardinals with a slight edge on the boards. Fond du Lac Cardinals, that is, at 6-5. Fondy with 3 turnovers and Chip Falls with 2.
Falls inbounding to start the second quarter of action, knocked away from Travis Hurts by Corey O'Connell and out of bounds. So Fondy will inbound once again. Did you hear what the hockey team did up in that tournament? I never saw any
last
scores,
night?
Never heard anything.
Oh, an exciting game. They came from behind and won, come from behind her in double overtime last night.
And won, that was the championship.
No, that was the first game. They played championship tonight.
Okay, the championship is tonight.
They are on ESPN2 Live tonight. championship
I'm not
game
talking about the Badgers. I was talking about Fond du Lac. I knew that the Badgers had done that, yeah. I was talking about the Fond du Lac Cardinals. Hockey team, they're up and in.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. No, I did
Never
not
heard
hear
a score on it. And thrown away here by Bester trying to come for Drew Diener. Yeah, their championship game, I think, was last night, and I never heard if they were even in it. For that
I
matter,
didn't either.
There was nothing in the newspaper.
I was referring to the Wisconsin Badgers.
Yeah, they won
showdown.
one in double overtime over Bowling Green, but they'll run into a hornet's nest tonight in Lake Superior State. You're right about that. And to swing it around here, right side, got it down to O'Connell off the low post. Good job by Rupert, keeps his feet and uses that vertical plane. And O'Connell does not get off a good shot, but then a traveling violation off of the rebound is going to give it back here to Chip Falls. Lindahl to do the honors. Looped it out, and it is picked up here by Pagankoff. Pagankoff comes right back to the right side for Holly. Swing between the two rings here to the near side. Lindahl with a tray, no. And the rebound away to High Harmson. Outlet pass. They bring it up court here quickly for Drew Diener. Leaves it back out for Travis Ernst. Cards have the score doubled at 14-7. Roop posts outside the lane, and the ball slapped free as he tried to come down to Bester and out of bounds. And back into the ball game is Mike Thompson, as Corey O'Connell will take a breather for Chippewa Falls. Well, I got 2 radio stations from Chippewa Falls working this game, and it would appear so. How about that?
It's rather unusual.
Yeah, I'd say, especially on the road. Here's Travis Ernst. Round to the right side. Here's a Diener off for the baseline. Shot there, no. Rebound to Brad Bester. Turns, goes back to the hole, and he put it in. Brad Bester with his 3rd point of the basketball game, and it's 16-7. And working it back up is Nick Holly, sophomore at 5'11". Out between the 2 rings is Simonson. Here's Lindahl coming around the pick, comes out high, 17-footer there, no. Up to grab the rebound is Drew Diener. Leave it in the backcourt for Ernst, and he'll work it back up. Travis Ernst takes it on the sidewalk, give it to Bessie out of the coffin corner. Skip pass comes across to Drew Diener. Here's Drew working left side sidewalk, right back to Air Best once again. Air Best looping feet, got it down to high, slam it, jump, and he goes in to lay it in. 8th point of the ball game for Joe Harmson, and it's 18-7 Fond du Lac.
Cardinals have really had their way offensively thus far and have had some good ball movement, rotated around very nicely on the perimeter. That's getting the movement as they're resulting in a lot of easy baskets, just as we saw right there.
And taking it down to the hole, Simonson, ball stripped free, picked off the court by Travis Ernst. Up court they come to Air Best. He pulls up with a tray, bang it! Brad Bester gives the Cardinals a 14-point, 21-7 lead in this basketball game. 5:02 remaining first half of action. And coming around the pick out high. Nice lead for Nick Holly, and Holly will put it in. Ernst. Here's Rupert off of the 50 there. No. And we do realize we're having some minor audio difficulties. We better pull the whole spool off here at halftime. Ernst with the personal foul. Do you believe it? That is the first team foul of the basketball game on the Fond du Lac Cardinals. Almost 12 minutes without a foul. Thompson for O'Connell. Left side, here's Tim Rose with the basketball. They still have the sophomore Holly in there. Might be their best 3-point threat. And a 15-footer here by Simonson would knock it down. And the rebound pulled away by Air Best. Comes up court to Zimmerman, to Simon. Outside. And we're going to get a timeout taken on the court. Timeout. Fond du Lac leads it now.
minivans or full-size vans and conversions in the Fond du Lac area is at Service Motors and Alexander Motors. At Service Motors, you will find a wide selection of full-size vans and conversions, spacious Ford Aerostars, and luxurious Ford Windstars. Alexander Motors lets you choose from the comfortable Plymouth Voyager, the sensational Mercury Villager, or the Chrysler Town & Country. Find your next van or minivan at one convenient location. Service Motors and Alexander Motors, Scott and Main Streets, Fond du Lac.
In every community, some things never change. They stand the test of time. Despite the constant pressures from the outside, they remain stable, unwavering as time marches on. At National Exchange Bank, we recognize the strengths of our community. One of our objectives is to help maintain this quality of life. National Exchange Bank, locally owned and independent, standing the test of time. The Quality Bank, member FDIC.
Well, Brad Bester with that three-point shot sends Bob Conan reeling and quickly calling for a timeout as his team trailing by 15 here now at 24-9. Coming around to pick out high. Here's Rose. Free throw line jumper, no, and High Harmson goes up to grab it. Outlet pass for Jeff Simon. The Cardinals quickly up into the forecourt. Simon down to the baseline. Give it to Bester. Bingo again!
Well, Bester can feel it right now.
Air Best with 3 straight three-pointers. 27-9. Thompson out high is Corey O'Connell. Leave it for Simonson to the right side. Sidewalk. He's played there by High Slemagema. Coming around to pick out High. O'Connell round to the right side. Shot in the way there by Thompson. No rebound. Down and away to Derek Diener.
Well, the stats is all over for Fond du Lac. Out-rebounding Chip Falls 7-1 in the quarter, and Chippewa Falls only 1 for 7 from the field.
Left side sidewalk. Here's Air Best. They've got O'Connell on him. Try to shut him down. Zimmerman looping feed. Big out! High Slemagema!
Well, that's what happens with the Cardinals, the ability to have the inside-outside game. They made some defensive changes, rotated around to really cover up on Best from the outside. And give credit to Fondy. They recognize that, and they get the one-on-one post-up inside to Harmson.
Well, this is the best, the inside. Of course, you have to consider the competition as well. And here's Tim Rose with a tray, the second three of the ball game for Chip Falls. The best the inside-outside game has looked thus far. And again, you have to consider the competition. Here's Bester again for a tray, and that one off the back of the rim would knock it in. Rebound away to Mike Thompson. Up court, here's Rose. Left side, 29-12 is the score. Nick Holly. Up posted outside the lane. Here's Matt Simonson. Comes left side for Holly. Coming around the pick. Now picked up by Harmson. Shovels it across. Here's Thompson taking the baseline. Reverse layup is good.
Well, pretty good job by Thompson. He gets up behind the glass. The Cardinals really did a pretty good job defensively there to force him that way. But he turns the tide a little bit, reverses the layup, and comes from the backside.
Thompson, right now, their leading scorer. And I would say might be their best athlete on the court. Certainly does not appear to be the true basketball player, but a heck of an athlete. And Bester tried to slap that one off of Tim Rose and out of bounds, but didn't get enough of Tim Rose. And into the basketball game comes Drew Diener, and Air Best will take a breather. What a job by Bester.
Well, he had the hot hand there for a moment. Not a good time to get into a game of horse with him.
No, certainly not. 3 straight trays by Air Best to give the Cardinals at 1 point. They're a 20-point lead. And coming around to pick here once again is Tim Rose, and he'll lay it in.
Well,
so now, and a bad pass in the backcourt.
Tipped out of bounds.
Or tipped out of bounds.
Right, off.
Chip Falls has battled back to within 13 in this basketball game at 29-16. After the Cards took the 20-point lead at 29-9. They have scored the last 7. Ernst works it across for Jeff Simon. Come post up now to Zimmerman. The ball slapped away from behind, and a retaliation foul is going to be on Zimmerman, I think.
Oh, Zimmerman, you're right. Yep. That's who it is.
Mike Zimmerman will get his first personal, only the second team of the first half. The Cardinals have played well defensively, Mike, and have had but 2 team fouls recorded here in the first half. Here's Rose with a tray, head of the key. Shot will not drop. Zimmerman battled for, but Nick Holly comes away with it. Reed checked it again and slammed out of bounds by high slammer Gemma Harmson.
It's been certainly tough for Chippewa Falls to take the ball inside. The defense has been there.
So, the Falls Cardinals will inbound on the baseline. 47 seconds here in the half. Nick Holly's tray is off wide of the mark. O'Connell comes away with a rebound. They get him doubled up, and a timeout is taken by Chip Falls. A timeout here with 40 seconds remaining in the first half of action. Back after this on your Cardinal Basketball Report.
Dean's Dodge in Fond du Lac, or Dean Chevrolet Geo Buick in Waupun. When you visit us, expect to be treated like no other auto dealer will treat you. Our sales teams and our office staff all understand how important your auto purchase is to you. So if you're buying used or new, you can expect the best service before, during, and after the sale.
You don't have to be the biggest dealer to get the best service. Come to Dean's. We're the little dealer that cares about you.
Dean's Dodge, Highways 41 and 151 Fond du Lac, and Dean's Chevrolet Geo Buick on Fond du Lac Street in Waupun.
For all types of commercial printing, call the print shop. Get fast, courteous service and quality printing for all your business needs. We specialize in multicolor printing. Call 923-4354 or visit our new office at 19 East 3rd Street in Fond du Lac.
Welcome back once again to the Goodrich High Gymnasium. 29-16 ball game. Well, how about the Wisconsin Badgers and Duke coming up here? That is if we can shake the cobwebs out of Darrell Bevel. Boy,
he won't get a hit in the game. He's tougher than that one he took in practice.
No, that's for sure. Left side sidewalk. Here is Rose. All over him is Ernst. Got it down to the low post. They split it back out high. O'Connell falling away, and he hit the shot. Rory O'Connell, his first bucket of the game. They're back to within 11.
Tough shot there. O'Connell really didn't want to take the shot at all, and finally found himself in a position. He had to force it up. And it rolls in.
Ernst, they got a little bit of a trap on, and now Fond du Lac wants to spread this defense with 10 seconds in the half. Bester, circle high right, down to 5. Now pulls up, jackknife J on the way, would knock it out. Rebound away, underneath to Drew Diener, they put it back in. Drew Diener to end the half. And our score here at halftime is the Fond du Lac Cardinals 31 and Chippewa Falls 18. Back after this on your Fond du Lac Cardinal Basketball
Report. Tune into the Marcus Cable Channel to watch the Dating Network. Call the 800 number today to place your free video personal ad. The Dating Network, 6 times daily, only on the Marcus Cable Channel.
All off and hit the road in a new pickup closeout price at Broadway Fond du Lac. All 94 trucks and sport utilities must be sold regardless of price. Like Chevy S-Series trucks, slashed as low as $89.95. We even reduced prices on all used trucks to make room for your trade. We want to be your truck headquarters, and to do that, we're prepared to put extra discounts on the line. Only at Broadway Chevrolet Buick Geo Jeep Eagle, Fond du Lac.
Join the Baker team and be a first stringer. Try the Baker brand award-winning string cheese. Any way you tear it, it's terrific. In your lunches, on your next trip, as a dietary snack. Our string cheese is great anytime. Find all our top quality Baker cheese at most area stores.
Welcome back to Goodrich High. We're at halftime of the 1994 holiday tournament. The Fond du Lac Goodrich Cardinals lead the Chippewa Falls Cardinals by a score of 31-18. It's been pretty much Fond du Lac throughout the course of this basketball game. Have built up as much as a 20-point lead in the first half. Chippewa Falls makes a bit of a late run in the latter moments of the second quarter of action. Scores 7 straight at one point to get back within their current margin. Let's take a look at the stats here for the first half of action, and looking at the stats, you'd almost think Fond du Lac would be up by more than they are, as they just dominate the stat chart. Shooting 13 for 19, for 68% from the field. Chippewa Falls 8 for 28 for 29%. Cardinals having a problem at the free throw line. 1 for 5 for only 20%. Chippewa Falls has yet to shoot a free throw in this basketball game. Fond du Lac with only a pair of fouls in the first half of action. Rebounds, Fond du Lac with an edge of 14-9 over Chip Falls. And the Cards of Fond du Lac commit 5 turnovers in the first half, as Chippewa Falls with but 3 first half turnovers. We'll be right back and take a look at the scoring leaders right after this on your Cardinal Holiday Basketball Tournament Report.
Since 1933, Spees Painting and Decorating has been providing quality painting services for all your industrial, commercial, and residential needs. If your job is big or small, get it done efficiently and get it done right the first time. Spees Painting and Decorating, equipped to do the job efficiently.
At Lenz Sales and Service, not only do we sell quality cars, trucks, and vans, but we also provide complete auto services. From cleaning to detailing, our body shop can handle all your needs, big or small. Lenz Sales, Service, and Leasing, where nice cars, trucks, and vans are sold and serviced.
You depend on Silica. You can brighten up your kitchen for the holidays at Silica Appliance and TV during our store-wide sell-a-thon. Store-wide savings on appliances, TVs, VCR, stereo, and power equipment. Save on KitchenAid's full line of appliances. KitchenAid dishwashers with Sure Scrub multi-level wash to get your dishes cleaner than ever. So brighten up your kitchen for the holidays during the store-wide sell-a-thon at Silica Appliance and TV.
You depend on Silica.
Not all law firms or lawyers are the same. If you've been injured, you want a lawyer with experience. Donahue, Sharp, and Casper has handled difficult cases throughout the state and argued successfully before state courts at all levels, including the Wisconsin Supreme Court. They've won significant recoveries for their clients, and they've done it from Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. You don't have to go to Milwaukee or up the valley to find experienced, accomplished personal injury attorneys.
Taking a look at the leading scorers here in the first half of action, the Fond du Lac Cardinals are led by Brad Bester with 11 points, 9 of those on 3 consecutive three-pointers in the second quarter of action. It is following up by Harmson with 10 points and Drew Diener with 7. The Cardinals of Chippewa Falls are led by Thompson with 6, Rose with 5, and Holly with 5 also. Incidentally, the first half factor also, the Cardinals were 4 for 8 from three-point range, and Chippewa Falls was 2 for 8.
As we get ready to start the second half of action here from Goodrich High, with Fond du Lac with a 31-18 lead. And inbounding the basketball, coming back with their original 5 starters. Here's Jeff Simon with a jackknife tray. Jay would knock it down. And the rebound pulled away by Travis Ernst, so the Fond du Lac reloading. Down to the baseline, backdoor feed comes for Brad Bester. Overlaid it. Tough shot, got caught underneath the hoop. And a double dribble in the backcourt is called on Ryan Pagenkoff. So, Travis Ernst with the basketball between the 2 rings comes for Jeff Simon. Now give it to Harmson. Swinging around left side. Here's Bester. Pulls up with a 17-footer there. Good foul!
Well, we'll get the 2, and I wonder if this is going to be Dave after the shot.
We'll see here. He's going to shoot the free throw. So Brad Bester will go to the line. He has connected on the only free throw that the Cardinals have hit in this basketball game. Foul was on Tim Rose, his second, first team. So Brad Bester to the free throw line and got the first.
Well, he continues the hot hand that he got in the second quarter of action.
34-18 ball game, Fond du Lac leads it here now by 16. Left side, here's Rose. 17-footer there, it's good. No, that was a tray. Second tray of the game for Tim Rose. 34-21, Ernst. Post up high to Rupert. Pops it back out here for Jeff Simon. Swings back between the 2 rings for Travis Ernst. Give it to Rupert. Out hole high. Now dumps it down here to Harmson. Turn. 10-footer there. No. Rebound away to Thompson. Outlet pass comes for Pagenkoff. Lost the ball off his knee and out of bounds. Back to the Cardinals.
Chippewa Falls in the second half continues to play a zone defense, predominantly a 1-3-1. Give it other looks, but that's the base of it.
Simon, Rupert, down to high. Harmson, reverse layup is gone by high slam and
nice athletic move by Harmson there. Has the ball on the near side and goes a long ways to get underneath and around the basket to take it back door.
I tell you, he's looked good tonight.
Yes, he has.
36-21 by 15, the Fond du Lac Cards. Here's Pagenkoff between the two rings. Post up now to O'Connell. Splits it back out. Left side sidewalk, give it to Thompson. Played by Jeff Simon. Got a pick out there from Pagenkoff. Brings the ball out high. Now takes it to the lane. Running 15-footer there. No. Rebound away to Joe Harmson. Outlet pass comes to Simon. Simon between the two rings here now for Travis Ernst. Posting up is Harmson. Splits it off down low to Simon off of the baseline. Look back into Joe, can't go. Reload the basketball. Ernst, they're going to call him on the travel, and I don't think he did.
I don't think so either, Dave. Gotta agree with you.
Yeah, I think he gave him that little head herky-jerky fake, but I don't think his pivot foot ever moved.
Tuesday night, Friday night, tomorrow night, we'll have high school basketball, which we hopefully we will have Vincent against the Fond du Lac Cardinals. It appears it will be that way.
I would have to say, standing right now, take care of the ball halfway decent here in this ball game, unless they get extremely hot. That's what's going to happen. This is really a bit of a mismatch, although Chip Falls playing better since the Cardinals had at one time taken that 20-point lead at 29 to 9. Simon outside, Trey J, no. Rebound, down and away here to Mike Thompson.
Now this should hopefully be a good tune-up for tomorrow night's game. Vincent, Dave, had the opportunity to watch most of that game prior to ours.
I'm glad you did, because I didn't.
No. They are a fine basketball club. You talk about city metro teams and inner city teams. You talk about offense, running, and jumping. This team plays some defense.
Rose had that shot partially blocked. Here's Harmson coming off in the lane, and the ball stolen away. Slaps it free himself again, giving it to Ernst down to the baseline. Simon blocked from behind by O'Connell. And out of bounds, back to the Fond du Lac Cardinals.
Now they are an in-your-face defensive team. They've got some good quickness, jumpers. Could be a very tough test for the Cards tomorrow night.
So we will have the Cardinals inbound underneath. Turn, 10-footer off the baseline, no by Joe. Shot there really that he needs to and should hit. Has not hit the little 7 to 10-foot jumpers here tonight. Greg Fyvie back into the ball game. Got a piece of that ball there from O'Connell. And the rebound cleared away to Brad Bester. Air Best. Right side, 17-footer there. Would not go down. Tap once by Fyvie, no. Rebound away to Mike Thompson. Here they come on the run. Tim Rose takes to the hole. Blocked by Bester. Rebound Thompson. And they deflected out by Fyvie, but he can't come away with a rebound. And Lou Manglos puts it back in. Well, not a good job on the defensive boards that time by the Fond du Lac Cards. And Derek Diener. Ball into the coffin corner here to Bester. Right back to Derek. He's going to take the tray out there. Will knock it down. Rebound away to Thompson. Outlet pass. Rose comes up court for Pagenkoff. Thompson now between the two rings. 36-23 basketball game. And here's another shot blocked out of bounds by Joe Harmson.
Harmson's got a ton of blocks. That one he blocks right back into Travis Ernst, who was on the defensive end and goes off of Ernst out of bounds.
And Travis will come out as Drew Diener is back into the ball game now for Fond du Lac. This might, right here, be maybe the most athletic lineup that they could put into the basketball game. Wouldn't you say, Matt?
I think so. Quickness all the way around.
Yeah. And a running one-hander down court. He overlined it. Derek Diener. Rebound away. Shot there, no. And Mike Thompson clears for Chip Falls. Outlet pass. Rose pulls up 17-footer. Honeycombed out. Rebound tap once, no. And Brad Bester comes out with it. Leave it to the backcourt for Derek Diener. He'll bring it up. Derek Diener, right side, down to Joe. Takes the inside on the baseline, goes to the hole, and he put it in.
Nice spin move. He fakes coming to the inside on a paint and goes back baseline and leaves the defense standing.
And that's a tough shot, Mike, too.
Yeah, just very little room for error there behind the backboard.
Right. Thompson to Rose. Post up in the lane. Here's Simonson. He ducks underneath, and he overlaid the hoop. Greg Fyvie goes up to get it.
Simonson, a nice move underneath Harmson. Did everything but finish the shot off.
Cut off on the baseline as Bester tried to come back to Fyvie. Bad pass thrown into the hands of Mike Thompson. Thompson right down the lane, leaves it here for Nick Holly, and he'll lay it in. Well, after I gave these guys the compliment of being probably the most athletic 5, they haven't shown us here too much, though. Still the 1-3-1 zone. Post up high. And got it down to Harmson, knocked away and out of bounds.
Athleticism, Dave, is one thing, but when it comes to the basketball court, I think the key word is called chemistry.
Yeah, well, chemistry and, certainly the knowledge is out there with these 5 individuals. And now Brad Bester will come out and Travis Ernst will come back in.
You can take the 5 best players in the state of Wisconsin. That doesn't necessarily make them a good basketball team.
No, that's very true. And I think what you did now is you put Travis Ernst back in to settle this thing back down. Off of the baseline, here's Joe, missed the 10-footer again. Rebound is down and away to John Sonnentag. First time on the court for him here tonight. Holly lost the handle on the ball, regains, gives to Sonnentag. Right side sidewalk, here's Lindahl, and then coming down low to Simonson, knocked away and out of bounds. They're going to call the foul on High Harpson, his first team. Cardinals in the ball game. That's their first team of the second half. Right. Only the 3rd foul of the basketball game.
Yeah, the greatest example, David, talking about chemistry and teams playing together and whatnot, I can think of real quickly offhand was back in, 87 or whatever, when the Cardinals were in the state championship game against Milwaukee, Washington.
Yeah.
Washington had talent upside down more than the Cardinals had. But the Cardinals had that chemistry. They played well together, and they knew how to use that courage to really put a unit together.
Well, that was a club that clicked suddenly at the end of the year. I recall them playing Green Bay East in the final game of the regular season, Mike, and just really stinking the place up, and you would have thought that they just wanted to pack it in for the season and go home, and all of a sudden you had 5-6 guys there that decided not to end the season quite so soon. Coffin corner left side, pair of free throws there by Simonson. 38-27, they're back to within 11 again with 1:17 here in the quarter. Here's Ernst with a jackknife J, 17, no. Armstrong there to grab the rebound, put it back in. 16th point of the ball game, 40-27. And an overlay underneath by Corey O'Connell. Up court comes Derek Diener. Left side, Drew, Trey and away, no. Rebound tapped in the hands of Greg Fyvie, he'll put it back in.
Now this game has really turned up-tempo here in the 3rd quarter, and I really don't think that's at all in the favor of Chip Falls.
No. And bumping and banging underneath, O'Connell draws a foul from Greg Fyvie. Fyvie's first, 2nd team. 4th team foul of the ball game overall for the Fond du Lac Cardinals. Pop it out high, Holly here. Nick Holly is going to shoot the tray, and he hit it. His 2nd tray of the basketball game, 42-30. Split it off down low. And outside, here's Derek Diener with a Trey J. No. Rebound pops out. Here's Corey O'Connell running one-hander is good. They are within 10. And they've at least kept it interesting here.
Fondy will be going to look for one shot here now with 11 seconds to go in the 3rd.
And it's down to 9. And here's Derek Diener. Takes it out high, post with the line extended. Give it to Drew out of the Coffin corner. Right back, Derek. Jackknife jumper on the way. No, and that's going to be the end of the 3rd quarter of action. And our score here, after 3 quarters of play, it is the Fond du Lac Cardinals 42 and Chippewa Falls 32. Back after this on your Fond du Lac Cardinal Basketball Report.
The Sports Spine and Work Center of St. Agnes Hospital. About the only thing we can't fix is a bruised ego.
Mine! Mine! Mine!
The Sports Spine and Work Center of St. Agnes Hospital.
Yours!
About the only thing we can't fix is a bruised ego.
I love watching TV. My whole family does. The problem is there's 4 of us and only one TV. So anyway, last week we all wanted to watch TV all at the same time. It was my mom and my dad and my sister and me facing off. One TV, one remote, and one chance. I made my move and bang! It switched on USA. And you know what? Everyone was happy.
USA. The remote stops here.
Well, it's an even third quarter of action. The Fond du Lac Cardinals 5 for 21, only 24%. Chip Falls 5 for 16 for 31%. Cardinals slight edge on the boards. The Fondy Cardinals 12 to 11, and they split a total of 4 turnovers. And the final 8 minutes of basketball coming your way with Dave Preston.
And thank you very much, Mike. 42-32 ball game by 10 the Cardinals as we start the fourth quarter of action, and Chip Falls has come back to make it interesting here today, right? As here's Simonson working on Harpson, blocked it. Rebound away to Travis Ernst. Ernst will bring it across the timeline. On the right side sidewalk, here's Greg Fivey up high post. Jeff Simon left side to Bester, tried to come back into Fivey, and the ball tipped away.
You know, Fondy really needs to make a statement here early in the quarter. You got a ball here on Bester. You allow them to get a couple quick buckets here, they're right back in this basketball game.
I get the feeling, Mike, that we seem to be toying with them a little bit. Maybe feeling that we can turn on some kind of afterburner here any old time we want to and kind of put this thing away.
That is a very dangerous habit to get into.
Yep. Oh, my! Do you believe that? Nick Holly bounces it in off the back of Bester, takes the ball back, and hits the jumper.
I have not seen that done.
I have never
I've seen it before, but not in this at high school ball. I've seen it in pros.
Yeah, and Harpson is fouled underneath. Well, I've seen it happen before, but never intentionally.
I've seen it done intentionally in the pros, but never at this level.
Tim Rose with his third personal, the second team of the half.
Give Brad Bester an assist on that?
I guess. What a move. But and he's only a sophomore, Mike, to pull a stunt like that. And the shot outside by 5, he would knock it in. And up court, here comes Corey O'Connell running one hitter's good. Wow. They are back to within 6, folks.
Yeah, it's just what I said. They're right back to now believing they can play in this game.
42-36. Ernst, would you have believed this when it was 29-9?
No.
I don't think so. It looked like it was all over with already. But the Falls Cardinals certainly didn't think so. Left side, out of the coffin coater. Here's Bester. Pop it out. Simon, Trey J on the way there would knock it down. Harpson falling down to grab the rebound. Can't come away with it. O'Connell to Rose. Blocked. Foul on Travis Ernst. Second personal. Dick Diener needs timeout. And he's going to get it right here. Dick Diener is going to talk things over. 6:24 remain to be played in the basketball game. Time out of the court. Chip Falls is back to within 6. It's 42-36.
In the Fond du Lac area is at Service Motors and Alexander Motors. At Service Motors, you will find a wide selection of full-size vans and conversions, spacious Ford Aerostars, and luxurious Ford Windstars. Alexander Motors lets you choose from the comfortable Plymouth Voyager, the sensational Mercury Villager, or the Chrysler Town & Country. Find your next van or minivan at one convenient location. Service Motors and Alexander Motors, Scott and Main Streets, Fond du Lac.
In every community, some things never change. They stand the test of time. Despite the constant pressures from the outside, they remain stable, unwavering as time marches on. At National Exchange Bank, we recognize the strengths of our community. One of our objectives is to help maintain this quality of life. National Exchange Bank, locally owned and independent, standing the test of time. The Quality Bank, member FDIC.
Well, Eric Wiseman is up off the pines and into the ball game for the first time here this evening.
And Wiseman, a player who often lights a little fire.
Nick Hawley with a tray, and he hit it.
And
the sophomore who has lit it up here in the second half, and he has drawn Chippewa Falls to within 3 at 42-39. Bester to Ernst.
You know, you've got to give Chip Falls some credit, Dave. They have not gotten away from what they came in to do in this basketball game. Even though they went down early, they stayed in that zone, and it's been successful.
Harpson gets the feed, goes to the hole, and puts it in. 18th point of the basketball game for High Slamma-Jamma, 44-39. Nick Hawley. Left side is Mike Thompson. He is played and now takes the inside, got the inside track.
Boy, that was just a great move.
Drew Diener.
That was just a great move. He comes inside, and Harmson comes over to challenge defensively, which he should. But he goes underneath the basket, reverses the layup, and uses the basket to his advantage, so Harmson can't get the ball.
And they're back to within 3 again, 44-41. Wiseman to Ernst. Out between the two rings. Hawley plays him out of the 1-3-1 zone. Post up, Wiseman splits it off. Out of the coffin corner. Tran away there, would knock it down. Rebound battled for. Ernst comes away with it. Left side, Tran away from Bester, no foul.
And Bester will shoot 3 here.
Brad Bester will go to the line. And they called the foul on Matt Simonson.
Cardinals right now just can't seem to get anything going from long range. Last couple shots they've taken out there have been in and out and rattled back out again.
Well, we have only 1 field goal in the quarter. Is that right?
That's correct.
Bester will shoot 3. Got the first. So we're going to get a try for a 3-point play, or a 3-point bucket here, I guess you'd call it, the hard way.
Cardinals, the second half, have really gone through some slumps. In the middle of the third period, they went 8 shots in a row without hitting one.
Brad Bester with 3 free throws, bang, bang, bang. And he has now hit 5 out of 6.
Fond du Lac needed those 3 big time.
47-41, back to a 6-point lead here for the Fond du Lac Cardinals. Tim Rose, he is played by Bester. Nick Hawley lost the handle of the ball and out of bounds.
Well, Hawley wanted to take that ball baseline, and he had Travis Ernst on him. His thoughts were to go before he had the ball. That's the only problem.
Well, Hawley has 10 points here in the second half of action, including a pair of 3-pointers, and then that other goofy inbounds feed where he tossed it off the back of Brad Bester and got the ball back and hit the 10-foot puppy on the baseline.
You know, that was the day, the play that really ignited this whole run.
Yeah, it did. For the Cardinals now, here's Wiseman going down the lane, running one-hander. Good. I don't know yet. No shot, I think, is what they're going to call. Now, wait a minute. The foul's going to be on Corey O'Connell.
He hasn't waved it off. Oh, okay. No
blocking foul, no shot.
Yep. Nice penetration by Wiseman, though. Takes the seam in the defense right to the glass.
Called the foul on Simonson, his second, so Fond du Lac inbounding again. 4:33 to go. Dangerous. It's only a 6-point lead. And Chip Falls, kind of a goofy club. And here's a foul again on Bester, on Corey O'Connell this time. And Bester again is going to go to the line to shoot 3.
Ever since Bester hit those 3 in a row in the second quarter, they have really respected his outside shooting. When you have follow a guy from 3-point range twice within about 45 seconds, you're playing some defense on him. Actually, maybe too aggressively at that range.
Well, quite frankly, they're not going to let him shoot the 3 without.
But they really cannot afford to follow him on those 3s either.
Well, only if they would turn it into a 4-point play or a 5-point or a 4-point play, yeah.
Well, even the 3, you don't want to give a team 3 free throws, especially Brad Bester. He's going to knock him down. He's going to get you at least 2 of the 3.
I think they'd rather let him shoot the free throws than shoot.
Not me.
No?
I mean, even if you hit just 2 out of the 3, you're getting your 2 points, which is usually a conversion downfield.
Here's O'Connell, slapped it back, picked off by Bester, tipped it into the hands of High Harmson. Well, they had cut it to 3 at 44-41, and the Cardinals have scored 6 straight.
All on free throws.
All on free throws by Brad Bester. Wiseman 3:55 remaining. Here's Harmson, left side, 15-footer there, off the back of the rim, will knock it down. Eric Wiseman with a rebound, overshot it. Pulled down again by Harmson, turns back to the hole, missed it. And this time the rebound away to Matt Simonson. Up court comes Nick Holly. To the right, Thompson popping back out. Here's Rose, free throw line jumper, no foul. Well, they either called it on Drew Diener or Brad Bester. And it's going to be on Bester. Second personal on Bester, the 5th team foul. And Tim Rose to the free throw line will shoot 2. Got a pretty quick basketball game. Once again, in case you joined us late or whatever, Milwaukee Vincent beat Sheboygan South in the other semifinal game. I tell you, Racine Lutheran sure took it to Winnebago Lutheran last night, didn't they?
Racine Lutheran is a pretty good club.
So Rose gets one of the 2. It's an 8-point spread, 50-42. Ernst across the timeline. Played here by Nick Holly, picks up on the dribble. Bester coming around to help now. Here's Wisden. Gave it to Bester, who gave it back to Wisden, who gave it back to Bester again. Nobody wanted the ball. Ernst, 3:07 remaining. Travis comes down to the baseline, looking for some help. Bester pops out to give it to him. Bester now coming to the lane, leave it out for Joe Harmson. Slamma-jamma off onto the left side for Drew Diener, and a traveling violation. .2:53 remaining, and Chip Falls will have the basketball. And actually a chance to cut to 3 here. And they give the basketball into the hands of the sophomore who can do it, Nick Holly. Rose, left side. Cut off on the baseline here by Bester. Looks to reload. Give it off to O'Connell. O'Connell coming in the lane, running one-hander there. Overlighted! Rebound slapped around as Telesac tried. And it's pulled down and given off to Ernst. Travis Ernst in the backcourt now across the timeline. Picked up here by Holly. Left side sidewalk. He pulls up on the dribble. Give it to Bester. Hole high for Eric Wiseman. 50-42 basketball game. Bester trying to work off a pick here from Wiseman. Now takes the ball in the lane. Swinging around the horn. There's Drew Diener. Comes down for Harmson. And Trey J on the way here by Drew Diener. No. And O'Connell will bring it back up. I don't know, Mike, at this point in time with an 8-point lead, if you want 3s.
I think you want clock, really.
I think you want clock and not a 3. Here's O'Connell off for the baseline, no foul. They're calling on the big guy? I believe so.
I believe Harmson's will get it.
Yep. Hi, Harmson, his second.
Dave, we got a moment here on the big bench with all the joys and happiness over the holiday season. Fond du Lac did have one great tragedy, I feel, in the loss of Mary Ma Kelly.
Oh, definitely, yes.
You know, someone that touched an awful lot of lives in Fond du Lac, and anyone who knew her, and I guess I'd count myself as one of the fortunate ones that did. A wonderful person that is just, again, a real tragedy. Our thoughts go out to the Kelly family.
Well, and I think that she considered every one of her students out there one of her kids, one of her own kids, and kind of treated them all that way. You're absolutely right. I was just astonished when I picked up the paper and read that on the Christmas Eve issue of all things. Yeah, that's a very big loss in the Fond du Lac area. The athletic director at the UW Center Fond du Lac, Mary Kelly. Back after this on your Fond du Lac Cardinal basketball report.
Dodge in Fond du Lac, or Dean Chevrolet Geo Buick in Waupun. When you visit us, expect to be treated like no other auto dealer will treat you. Our sales teams and our office staff all understand how important your auto purchase is to you. So if you're buying used or new, you can expect the best service before, during, and after the sale.
You don't have to be the biggest dealer to get the best service. Come to Dean's. We're the little dealer that cares about you.
Dean's Dodge, Highways 41 and 151 Fond du Lac, and Dean's Chevrolet Geo Buick on Fond du Lac Street in Waupun.
For all types of commercial printing, call the print shop. Get fast, courteous service and quality printing for all your business needs. We specialize in multicolor printing. Call 923-4354 or visit our new office at 19 East 3rd Street in Fond du Lac.
That's one of those things that you really don't want to do is put them on the line and allow them to score points, of course, with the clock stopped. So O'Connell with his second half of a two-shot foul, he had hit the first. Yeah, Mike, you talk about Mary Kelly had coached out there as long as I can remember, just about since the inception of the Fond du Lac campus. At least since about 1970, I believe, or 69, something like that.
And one that hardly ever forgot anyone. I'd run into her.
I ran into her about 2 weeks ago in a grocery store, and she came running up behind me and had to say hi.
She's always been that. You know, and my natural reaction was interesting. You know, it came to paper as Ma Kelly. For those that knew her, it was Ma Kelly.
That's right.
When I would run into her now, it was not Mary Kelly or Mrs. Kelly.
No,
it was Ma Kelly.
Was always how you doing, Ma?
Right.
You know, that kind of thing. You're right. We have another foul called here on Tim Rose. That'll be his fourth. And we'll go to the other end of the court now and shoot free throws. She certainly will be missed. 68 years old, Mike, and was still coaching volleyball.
Well, she loved what she was doing.
Yep. Derek Diener will go to the line to shoot a 1+1.
Free throws now become so more important. The Cardinals can shoot free throws and take care of the basketball. They will advance to the championship game in this tournament.
Well, that's a big one right there because it now makes it more than a two-possession basketball game.
Well, an awful lot of time yet, Dave. I don't think you even start talking about possessions with 1:44 to go. It's eternity.
And Harmson with the rebound off of the missed shot, put it back in. But you see, now it's a 9-point game. I'm looking at it in terms of...
I follow what you're saying, but in basketball...
Okay, all right.
A minute and a half is an eternity.
I know that. I agree. Down to the baseline. Gave the ball there to Pagankoff, to O'Connell, reload. Here's Thompson going to shoot a tray out there, back of the rim, hoop wouldn't have. Rebound away to Derek Diener. Give it to Brad Bester in the backcourt. Ahead they come for Wiseman. Cross-court feed for Travis Ernst. Right back to Derek once again. The post up here for Travis. They split it out. Ernst now comes down low to Harmson. They're working clock here now, folks, with 1:02 remaining.
Yeah, they're doing it very well, too. They're getting some good movement down low, and it was going to result in either that, a foul, or else the Cardinals were going about to work a backdoor.
Pagankoff, with the foul, will send Brad Bester to the free throw line to shoot a 1+1. Bester has hit on 8 in a row after missing his first toss of the night. And will shoot, hopefully, 2 right here. Well, it should. Well, he missed that one. 9-point lead still with 56 seconds remaining. And up court, down to the baseline to the right side is Rose. Outside, Holly had that shot partially blocked. Holly got his own rebound, tips it back out. Here's Rose with a tray to hit it.
No surprise they didn't use a quick timeout right there.
53 to 47, and 34 seconds remaining, and a foul here on Nick Holly.
Following that bucket, a good opportunity for Bob Cronin and team to take that timeout to stop the clock as well as set the defense for the inbound.
And they have 2 remaining. Eric Wiseman will go to the free throw line and shoot a 1+1, got the first. And that a big one with 34 seconds left. Harmson again away with the offensive board on the missed free throw.
That's really an area Joe has sparkled tonight also, is the offensive boards. He's had a ton of them.
And coming down into the lane, Bester lost the handle on the ball, but a foul out ahead of that on Nick Holly. Travis Ernst will go to the line. He is 0 for 2 in the basketball game. But things remaining the same. Ball game tonight at 8 o'clock or thereabouts. Right around 8 o'clock, and a steal. Here's Ernst coming in. O'Connell with a foul. O'Connell with his third.
Now it sets up for an outstanding matchup again, Dave. Starts with the coaches, brothers. They're on a pair of top 10 teams in the state of Wisconsin. And as I said, this team that we watched prior to tonight, Vincent, has some outstanding athletes on it, and a team that plays some defense. I was very, very impressed with their defense tonight.
And oddly enough, Mike, while Tom and Dick have some similarities in their coaching style, they probably have more differences than they have similarities, quite frankly. The defense being the one similarity, and the tray there by Rose, no, and Holly with another foul in the backcourt.
Well, I'll tell you, Dave, the Fond du Lac Cardinals tomorrow night will have to play a much more consistent basketball game than they did tonight if they want to win it. It will not come easy.
Joe Harmson to the free throw line with a 1+1. Gets the first. 21 points for Joe. 57-47. The Cards will win this one and remain undefeated on the season. Up court as they hit a pair of them. Trey here from way downtown by Nick Holly, no. And Joe Harmson comes down, pulls up with a 15-foot shot, no, and that is the end of the basketball game. And the final score here this evening, the Fond du Lac Cardinals 58, Chippewa Falls 47. We'll be back to wrap it up for you right after this on your Fond du Lac Cardinal Basketball Report.
Tune into the Marcus Cable Channel to watch The Dating Network. Call the 800 number today to place your free video personal ad. The Dating Network, 6 times daily, only on the Marcus Cable Channel.
All off and hit the road. And a new pickup closeout price at Broadway Fond du Lac. All 94 trucks and sport utilities must be sold regardless of price. Like Chevy S-Series trucks, slashed as low as $89.95. We even reduced prices on all used trucks to make room for your trade. We want to be your truck headquarters, and to do that, we're prepared to put extra discounts on the line. Only at Broadway Chevrolet Buick GO Jeep Eagle, Fond du Lac.
Join the Baker team